When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line.
I can taste triumph with the heart of a lion.
When victory alone isn't enough, you chase something greater, no matter how difficult the path. On the dirt, in the sand, and beyond. The new 2024 Ridgeline Passport and Pilot, part of our most rugged trail sport lineup yet. From Honda.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time Sports. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And you know, when the clock turns and we see January, we know that means spring football. And for us, it's always good to look and talk about Nicholls State University as we welcome into the program Tommy Rybacki, the new head coach of Nicholls State University. Welcome to the program, Coach.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We appreciate that. First and foremost, Coach, tell us how things are going. Just a general update here as we turn the calendar to February.
Yeah, it's been great. Great first few weeks with the team. Our players returned on the 21st. Our first workout was actually in the snow. So kind of
wow.
a new experience for them. But we were able to hit the ground running. We only missed one day that week with the snow delays. Mm-hmm. Our guys have been working out 3 days a week. In the weight room, and then we run the other 2 days.
Yeah.
So aside from that, they're getting acclimated to school, getting into their class schedule. And then also we've done a good bit of community outreach in these first few weeks, and we look to continue that in the next few weeks as well.
Well, I got to tell you, it's always exciting. I get a chance to be involved with Night to Shine program right there in Thibodeau Family Church, and so very excited. You've got so many football players that come out. It is just so cool to see those guys cheering someone else on like they normally get cheered on.
Yeah, it really is special. And I think what we're learning, our players are learning, is how much they get out of these opportunities to be in the community and to be around some young children, or like you're talking about, Night to Shine, people with special needs, how much they get out of it personally and how beneficial it is to them. To be able to grow and experience that.
Well, and I also love the fact that we talked a little bit of football and a lot more about balance for these kids, getting back into school, finding, their balance and what they're doing and how they need to do it. I love that because it challenges them to be good gentlemen in school, keeping up with that and keeping up with football and getting ready as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something that we talk about. And that's really our mission here as a staff, is to help them develop as people, develop as students, and then also as players. And I think everybody's going to benefit from the collection of all of those things improving over time.
Yeah, I like it. Look, awfully excited about your recruiting class. Man, you guys have been out and talking to people. Man, we've got 27 new committed recruits. That's exciting.
Yeah, it really is. And hats off to the staff. Because this is definitely the culmination of a lot of hard work. A lot of the staff, even dating back to last year and signing day of last year, beginning to work on this 25 class. I think we're bearing the fruits of a lot of that labor here today with our announcement.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit about some of those. How about Chase Chesser coming from Brother Martin over in New Orleans?
Yeah, Chase, really big young man who hasn't been playing football that long, but has shown that he has the movements and skills to really be an excellent football player as he continues to grow, get stronger, refine his fundamentals. We really see a future for him as an interior defensive lineman. Very
cool. How about Amari Clayton, wide receiver out of Catholic in Baton Rouge?
Love Amari Clayton. Love those guys, man. I think a lot of these guys on offense, what you'll see is they play really well without the ball in their hands, and they're adding to the team without having to have the ball. And that's Amari. Man, does he have skills to go get it down the field and also make something happen when he catches it. But you see this guy out blocking on the perimeter, how he sells out for his teammates. Super excited about him.
Love it when they can do all those things. Going back to defense, Shea Collins coming out of Mamu.
Yeah, what we would call is a later ad for us in the recruiting cycle. Shea's a guy that we identified because of his strong senior season. he made All-State and said, hey, man, who is this 6'6", 220-pound guy on the All-State team? And you turn on the film and he plays the way we want to play. You see his motor. Man, we love Shea.
Yeah. Moving right along, is it Cale Daigle?
Cale Daigle,
Yeah.
yeah.
From out of St. Paul's?
Yes, sir. Early enrollee out of St. Paul's High School. He's participating in the off-season program right now with us.
Cool.
Cale is along the same lines as some of the guys who have had a lot of success at linebacker here. The guys like Alan Pittman and Evan Veron, those hard-nosed players who just find a way to get to the ball and make plays happen for you.
Very cool. How about Jonathan Darchaz coming out of Abbeville, Vermilion Catholic?
Yeah, how about that? How about the most touchdowns ever scored in the history of Louisiana? And there's been some good players to come through the state of Louisiana at every level, and JJ is one of them for sure. The guy's the best player on the field, court, diamond, wherever you put him, he's going to excel. Super excited for him to be joining the team because, man, there's so many different things that he can do.
Yeah. So we'll go run through a couple more before we get to a break. How about Griffin Ellis, another DL? From
interior defensive lineman with a wrestling background. That guy's going to be excellent for us up front. Has a background with Rob Snyder, our defensive line coach.
I like it. How about Farrell coming in? Farrell Harewood from the NFL Academy. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You really want somebody special like that on special teams as a punter, huh?
He is, man. One of the top-ranked punters in the world. I would say this guy. He's got a pro pedigree. His dad played 18 years in the Premier League. He's got a special talent to kick the football. Super excited for him. Very physical young man, 6'3", 215. Awesome to have him on the team.
Yeah, some good genealogy there. Last one we'll talk about now. How about Alec Haynes, another linebacker coming in out of Baton Rouge?
Yeah, Alec is a guy we identified really early in the process. He was we started recruiting him when he was a sophomore because he was about the size he is now at that time. And proud to see Alec's growth this year. He had to take over a more leading role on the team on both offense and defense and really excelled as the leader of that team. So really proud of him for that.
Well, Coach, we're going to take a short break. Always appreciate your time. We'll come right back, talk a whole lot more football with head football coach Tommy Rybacki. Right back after this.
Thank you.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time Sports. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us and very glad to welcome back to the program Tommy Rybacki. Thanks for being with us here today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. As head football coach, you know most of those things going on. I love the fact that you know these recruits intimately. We're talking about the 27 different recruits. Very exciting. Everybody we've talked about so far has been from Louisiana. We're going to start expanding that since you guys did a great job of searching and finding people outside of Louisiana as well.
Yep.
Very cool.
Let's go.
All right, very good. Carson Hebert here from Houma, from Covenant Christian. Tell us a little bit about Carson.
Yeah, Swiss Army knife, Carson Hebert. Had the privilege of watching him on most Friday nights when we had a home game. We would have a meeting pretty much in line with when Covenant Christian was playing their games out here. So got a chance to watch Carson in person a number of times this year. Very skilled in a number of different ways. You can tell this guy is an athlete who grew up his whole life playing sports. So I think he's going to find his role on offense and special teams and all those other things with our team.
Very good. Looking forward to see how he blends. Another Houma guy, Sean Hebert. Talk a little bit about what he can do here from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, soccer style kicker, and I feel like kickers are something you need a number of them on your roster, and we're excited about the development of Sean. I think he's somebody who works really hard at his craft and has shown to have a good future in kicking. So we'll see how he develops along the way, and hope to see him in some games soon.
I like it. Deuce Hogan out of Texas. Let's talk a little bit about the importance of that position.
Yeah, quarterback, man. You got to have one, right? And
Yep.
and we got a number of good ones on the roster. We're excited to add Deuce to that mix. Deuce is a very mature young man, very talented. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a pocket style player. He signed with the University of Iowa out of high school, and then transferred to University of Kentucky. Backed up Will Levis, pretty good player, starter in the NFL there, and went to New Mexico State this past year. Earned the starting job at New Mexico State, and was looking for a scheme and system that fit his skill set better. And we were able to show him how it could be a great fit here. So really excited about Deuce. He's very mature. He is married. He's 24 years old. He's got 2 years of football to play. He's the son of a very successful high school football coach in the state of Texas. So he's got a championship pedigree, and we're looking forward to seeing him this spring.
Yeah, it's always special to be able to see somebody kind of a bit of a journeyman, but what they bring to the table is really, really high. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
exciting.
Special guy. And, it's different at that position too, because it takes the right fit to have success as a quarterback into the right scheme in the right place. And so I think that's what a lot of these guys that are out there in the portal are looking for, is what system is going to fit them the best. Gotcha.
Another one coming out of a different area, Nashville, Tennessee, Jacob Hood, outside linebacker.
Okay, Jacob Hood from Nashville. He's
he might be a lineman.
He is an offensive lineman for us. 6'8", 350 pounds. And he is every bit of 6'8", 350 pounds.
Wow.
Very, very talented young man. He actually signed with the University of Georgia out of high school, and then transferred to Nebraska. And then now he's coming to us. Jacob is a guy who 3.2 student, outstanding young man who is heavily involved in our community outreach programs. But then you turn on the film and you see a lot of talent and ability there. And for him, the draw to come to Nicholls is the opportunity to improve, to get on the field, to play right away. And so we're hoping for big things from Jacob.
Very cool. How about Everett Hunter? We hadn't talked about a tight end yet.
Yeah, tight ends. Tight end that can do it all. Everett is got a great frame, 6'3" or 6'4", 235 pounds, extremely hardworking, got great hands. He's a competitor. You can see him. He's the kind of guy you want going over the middle to make a tough catch. He's also the kind of guy you want blocking the C gap and doing those things for you on offense. So really excited about Everett.
How about Jackson Furman coming in as a quarterback out of Baton Rouge?
Yeah, another MVP of the state championship game to go along with J.J. Dartez. Jackson Furman is somebody who came on campus last year during the summer in camp. Really had a great showing. We offered him a scholarship then. He committed on the spot almost, and everything worked out and aligned for him to sign with us in December. But here's another big framed quarterback. Jackson's got the ability to run and throw, big arm, has a lot of really good football ahead of him.
Yeah, and 6'3", 200, not bad if you want somebody to run the ball as a quarterback.
Not at all. Yeah.
Very cool. How about Landon Ibieta? Out of Mandeville.
Yeah, familiar face and familiar name for a lot of people in this area. Landon is a really special talent. Went to LSU after a recruiting battle with the University of Miami, and spent 3 seasons at LSU. You turn on the film of Landon Ibieta, you see a guy who is absolutely dynamic with the ball, and he's a bigger guy than you would think. He's about 195 pounds, so he's almost a running back when he's out there in space with the ball. So really excited about what he can do as a playmaker.
Very cool. Last one before the break here, Coach. Jamar Jones.
Jamar, super talented, big man from Rummel High School, played for Coach Nick Monica. Jamar, man, sky's the limit for him as a football player. He's a 1,000-point scorer in basketball, really a special talent on the line of scrimmage, can get up to the second level and block those linebackers and even get down the field and block some DBs too, along with being powerful enough to block on the line of scrimmage. So super high ceiling for Jamar.
Very cool. Coach, we're going to take another short break. But, guys, don't go anywhere. A whole lot more. Head football coach at Nicholls, where we're going over new recruits.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hello, and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time Sports. Again, your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us, and very glad to have back with us Tommy Rybacki with Nicholls State University head football coach. Thanks again for joining us, Coach.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Rolling through some of these names, lots of new recruits. You mentioned 27 of them, 19 from the state of Louisiana, but we got several that are some journeymen. Really excited about what Nicholls State University football is going to look like in the spring and then come to fruition in the fall. Let's go to Preston Jones out of Baton Rouge, out of University High.
Yeah, U-High. Preston is a big young man, interior offensive lineman. He's a guy who's been at every one of our summer camps over the last 4 years. In the lineman camp, working hard. Definitely a guy whose best football is ahead of him.
Very cool. Turn our attention a little bit to offense and Cohen LeBlanc.
Cohen LeBlanc, dynamic receiver for us. He's a legacy player. His grandfather, Joe LeBlanc, played here. He's also a Nicholls Scholar, 4.0 student, outstanding ACT score, but he's just as good as a football player. The guy's dynamic, had plenty of opportunities to go different places, play football. We're excited that he chose to come to Nicholls.
Very cool. Back to defense with Gavin Nelson.
Yeah, big interior defensive lineman coming to us from Mississippi State, originally from Birmingham, Alabama. Gavin is athletic, continues to develop on the defensive line. He played end in high school, and now he's going to transition, play inside for us.
Very cool. How about Keith Newsom?
Keith, edge player for us, linebacker, a guy who's very athletic, played defensive end for a Nicholls graduate, Coach Frank Deggs at McDonough 35. Man, sky's the limit for him. Very athletic, great movement skills, hard working, loves football. Excited about him.
Very cool. How about Braylon Noel?
Yeah, Acadiana has a great history of putting out some really dynamic defensive backs. We've had some here with the likes of Kevin Moore, but Braylon brings a lot to the table. Great young man, loves the game of football, has great speed and movement skills to play the defensive back position.
I got you. Another defensive back, Elijah Sabatini.
Yeah, Elijah's grandfather actually coached here as the defensive coordinator. His mom actually grew up in the halls of Barker Hall, running around kind of like our kids are nowadays. Elijah signed with Ole Miss out of high school and then went to Southern Mississippi, was a starter at Southern Mississippi. And then we had the opportunity to get him out of the transfer portal this cycle. So excited to have him.
Yeah, get him back home. How about Camp Shepard, another linebacker?
Yeah, Camp from the Jackson area, played at Tri-County High School, went to Northwest Mississippi Community College on a great team that played for the national championship in junior college ball, and he was a 2-year starter there. Not too often do you get a guy who started 2 years in Mississippi JUCO football. Camp's an outstanding young man and a great player. Looking forward to getting him on the field.
I like it. And then maybe another one of those guys to hold down that line for you, Caleb Smith out of Brother Martin.
Yeah, nasty. Gets off the ball. Really big future for Caleb. He's got a great frame. He's about 6'2", 6'3", 300 pounds, interior offensive lineman. Loves to play hard, loves to get after it in the trenches. So excited about Caleb.
Staying with the Smiths. How about Jordan Smith, another wide receiver?
Yeah, from Slidell, Louisiana, went off to junior college in California to play before signing with New Mexico State, where he was there with Deuce. Jordan is a great young man, has made quite the impact on our team so far just with his personality, but brings a lot to the table from a playmaking standpoint. You turn on the tape, man, you put the ball in this guy's hands, and he can make people miss and get down the field. Very
nice. A couple more. I got William Stewart here, the long snapper.
Yeah, long snapper, addressing a position of need for us, open competition at the position for this spring. So it was important for us to bring somebody in who had a little bit of game experience. He played at Northwest Mississippi Junior College and was at Memphis, and he comes in through the transfer portal.
Very cool. All right, Colin Wheeler, our last one, wide receiver out of Rain High School.
Speed. You call this guy Wheels, man. He can really run all summer long. Ran sub 4.5 at a number of different camps across the state.
Wow.
Identified early in the process, was able to get him here on campus a number of times. He signed in December. We're proud to announce him today.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Coach, I thank you for the list. Let's talk a little bit about the schedule. Jason, pull it up if you don't mind. Talking about the excitement that we can look forward to. And this year with 2 byes, which is really exciting for the breaks in there, huh, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the byes come at the right time. Week 4 and week 7 are 2 great times to have those in the schedule. I think another thing that sticks out to me is 2 of the first 3 are at home. So that's outstanding opportunity for us as a team.
Yeah, and again, you see those starred there, the ones at home. Again, a really good conference. Tell us a little bit, Coach, as we looked at the schedule here, looked at some of the players, maybe your perspective here on the spring, just a few thoughts about the spring and then the fall.
Yeah, we got a long way to go. We're in week 3 we're finishing up week 3 of our off-season program. We'll finish with about 4 more weeks of off-season work before we start spring training after the Mardi Gras break. So we got a lot of work to do in the next few weeks to continue to build this team while we introduce some football things along the way. But I'm really excited about the work that the guys are putting in. I think we're headed in the right direction. It's just a matter of stacking these days together and continuing to make progress as we go.
Gotcha. One final thought, the first goal for the year for you guys. What is it that you really want to accomplish this year for this team?
And we want to represent this community and this university the way it's been represented. And we want people, when they watch us play, to know what we're all about. And so we're working hard every day to make that happen.
Well, Coach, I can tell you the balance with the academics, the support in the community, and the value and knowledge of football that you guys have, you are already an excellent program. We very, very much appreciate your time, very much appreciate what you do for Nicholls State University and the community. We look forward to having you back again soon, Coach.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular edition of Bayou Time Sports. But don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.